Hello, boys and girls. And I can't really say welcome back to Pyre, because it's we're not going to be playing a game. So in this little whatchamacallit, issue of Pyre, I am going to be trying. I said I was going to try to read all the things that happened during this, and yeah. So credits and this bullshit. When Wilfred Sandalwood regained his freedom, he knew that his work had only just begun. The nation that exiled him to life in the downside now prepared to honor him, but he was not interested in such ceremony, nor in freedom on the Commonwealth's own terms. He soon joined his agents with whom he had coordinated for years, slowly, carefully preparing for a night that would come. For Sandalwood and his loyalists and sympathizers, his true freedom was at stake, not just theirs, but everyone living under the Commonwealth. He hoped to gain liberated exiles representing each of the eight largest ethnic groups and composing the population of the Commonwealth. They would stand together as a vision of the eight tribes returning, inspiring the masses to embrace set values from before the Commonwealth had time its grip. With the Reds having ended sooner than expected, his optional scenario became impossible, but Sandalwood did not relent it. Prepared to execute his plan, imperfect though it was, on our described return, he stood up as one of the 6 former exiles of the Nine Rings, and the voices echoed together through the streets. These former exiles who had have disappeared into the ranks of the Commonwealth's own leadership now stood united before its people who poured from their homes in solidarity. It was imperative to Sandalwood that this stand against the Commonwealth was peaceful in its nature, and overwhelming popular support would be more than enough. And seeing that his priority that night and the end of the result was self-evident, the plan's goal had been achieved. Sandalwood's work was far from over still. He labored ceaselessly with the representatives from across the population to restore the sense of stability. This transitional period had its troubles, though none that were not quickly solved. Such was the will and spirit of the people. They understood that freedom carried new responsibility. After Sarah Union was born the next year, Sandalwood was elected as the nation's first prime minister. It was not his intent to run for office, but people chose him anyway. He led the fledgling nation through its nascent years. He invited the perspective of a reader, that's me, whom I was at every opportunity and counted him on one of his chief advisors and most trusted friends. Yeah, chief advisors, me and Sandra. As Wilfred Sandalwood gained more fame through this land of his sacrifice and his contributions, he remained ever steadfast about 2 things. The first that caused itself outright to remain in focus is freedom of the people had achieved. It was a gift to be cherished, a set of values that needed to be nurtured. The second point he made was that he himself had little to do with the outcome. He would often praise the exiles of the Night Wings who had stood with him, each in turn by name. He never forgot any of them. One day on his birthday, the people of this Syrian Union presenting to him a moment of depicts him and the Night Wings as he imagined in their prime. He has since ensured that those of us with memories more fallible than Sandalwood likewise remember the achievements of his fellow former exiles and his cause. How long was that? That was 5 minutes. No, I didn't mean to. I was looking to see. I don't have my phone on with me timing this, so I looked at Audacity and all of his life said dudes he had fled from one day to another to find himself facing another. He had escaped a war-torn water of the Cheetah Union, he had escaped the blood border of the Commonwealth, and now he had escaped the rights After the riots had ended, many exiles wrapped up the ancient test where Armquest fought as their last chance to return to the home of Venice, along with the stars above. But Lutz did not mind, for this outcome meant that, at last, there was no burdens of responsibility weighing him down. He could finally be a lazy piece of shit. Having heard Sir Gilman had also remained behind, Toulouse made a point of avoiding him at all costs. Nonetheless, they ran into each other once, riding a coal current in the sea cellars. The meeting with Terrace Coastal Toulouse ended up apologizing profusely for mistreating his fellow worm knight, and that was the end of it. But why is there still more text then? While most of the fellow exiles of Pyre had yet long for the waters to see the meeting driven as ever by the impulsive towards conflict, Toulouse settled down. With him remained one of his companions, one lady Seagrass, who had taken a liking to him for some reason. So we just randomly gave Sir Toulouse a girlfriend? Reportedly, David disappeared into the waters of the Worm Gulf, which may begin to explain the significant increase of worm populations observed in the vicinity. Ew. Alright, here's Jodio aka Mom. After the liberation, Jodio soon became an icon of the movement and led the collapse of the Commonwealth and the rise of the Syrian Union. The horns and stones counterweights inspired the people to believe that I was. Words are getting harder each character. She became a great leader. In the uncertain time that followed, Jody was a seasoning experience often came down to play on both matters of security and of state. For instance, she constructed and trained a team of volunteers in public safety. The community did not know what to make of such a cordial bunch at first, but soon came to value their service. They have stood for people ever since we celebrated their founding's day each year. She remained close to Hedwig. Yeah, although his experience and they supported each other through their struggles many times. She kept an eye on Ray, who nonetheless demonstrated surprising knack to get her on, though Judo was always willing to provide assistance just in case. She never settled down with anyone, or single mom, though for a time she thought about She continued training on her own and regimen that grew stricter with each passing year. There were those who sought to train with her and sometimes obliged. There remained one constant in life. She would always remember her day among the nightmares, and with fondness for the most part.
Consilta vidias.
Okay. After Wookie Greentail earned back his freedom, he returned to his lavish welcome to Samoa to come with as the tendency for liberating exiles. It was everything he could have hoped for, and soon he was well off, surrounded by luxury and choosing between various exciting opportunities. Golden teeth. However, he must have given into his better judgment, as he didn't end up siding with Wolford Sandwood's revolutionary forces as he promised. On the night of the scribe's return, Greentail was there with others in prison, inspiring the masses. He never looked prouder. The very image of German many mains himself. And finally, when dawn finally came, and it became clear that the Commonwealth that everyone knew it would be no more, he realized many new opportunities awaited. He began quite a lucrative career for himself, manufacturing and selling replica merchandise inspired by a downside. His main struggle was to meet the man. The threats of conscience cautioned him against making light of such things, but the money was too good, and soon his family was well off, as he always said. One of his orders of business was to seek out one of his own companions, Pamela Thane, to whom he took a liking during the course of the forfeit. Oh! Was Pamela there with Wookie? Wait, yeah, I think she was actually. They bonded further over love of drink and supported each other through uncertain times that lay in store. Greentail always did his best to keep in touch with all his many friends he knew he would support each other. I mean, a special point of staying close with a group of friends he came to know well during the time with 9 girls, which there were. They said expressed our understanding that put Greentor at lost words sometimes. Where's Panther? Oh, I think I've already read Panther. But here's Hedwig.
Concealed Davidius.
After his liberation, Hedwig was instrumental in the events leading to the fall of the Commonwealth, and is vital to the outcome of the plan. Peaceful outcome of the peaceful outcome of the scribe's return was attended to several key factors. One of the another was Hedwig's visibility among the people of the streets, and the fact to be liberated or exiled he believed to be Goliath and Reborn, second of the 8 scribes, Ortega or the Repentant. Many point, however, that he was that one of the winged harps of the High-Wing Revenant accompanied him. She was later identified as Fikini Shang. The bomb was symbolic of what was at stake that night and provided ritual peace and so on. In all of his days as leader of Hedwig oft confided to his friend Jodio. Despite her intense manner, there was no one whom he trusted more. At times when circumspection was required, Hedwig would often think back about the vow he made at the beginning of his quest for freedom. Although he cherished all the friendships he made, he pledged Jodio, Wookiee, Vito, and Vivide of the Nightwings that they'd all be freed again together. The promise had come to pass, though he always knew that this was not his own doing. He was always deeply grateful for the other 3, his closest friends. While the others stood in Nightwings were not able to remain in contact with us, Hedwig thought of each other often, and so in turn they thought of him. I'll probably save all that for last. Once the rest has ended, the Impetitia had a job to do, quite unlike most of the actual jobs on the downside. The limit was asked him to watch over the black bag, and which not ones had used to extensively travel for the shelter to the long the T-shirt black. I knew the bag and stand driving. I'm already losing my mind. What became of the bag and the death was never verified, as evidence of Jesus' Duok work. After that, he liked to wall save his fellow imps. Or Fitzend would sometimes send lower gears all the way from downside despite the instrumental distance between them prevented by more resilience. Teasing off the message and direction to the reader, that's me. After Nightwing, they would quickly build support at him. Indeed, teaser would often express his full gratitude for all this time with the Nightwings and the many adventures through the land that was always his home. Other than that, teaser would sometimes help interpret for messengers relaying news from this union, but he never let it go to his head. He would go first into the Sea of Solace every single chance he got. That's nice.
Consilta Vinias!
I'd like to go into next Spanish for his first outpost, his military obligation with the Commonwealth. To him, earning back his freedom was tantamount to erasing the shame of his past, his honor, at stake more than anything. Yet when it became clear to him that he would not go free again and do the right, he really accepted the outcome, for he knew by then that much more was on the line. He regretted not having a chance to contribute directly to the events transcribed in the Commonwealth, though he pleased to hear the outcome. The conclusion of the riots and the fall of the Commonwealth made clear to him that his days as a knight had ended. He declared those inertia that he would never fight again, unless, of course, arose some other extraordinary set of circumstances again, requiring him to fight. But he said, "Hope not." He still trained regularly, though never found as skilled as motivation as part of his fleet-of-foot Wookiee Greentor, who we remembered fondly. Damn, I'm upset that I'm like. It's just such a shame that we couldn't bring everyone time to time he would seek guidance from his former comrade, Big Bertrude, much his older and more respectful of life decisions. He wasted no time dwelling on his days on the lease of Sir Jules, his former comrade, the other one that date well clear of him. Gomer never returned to his homeland to see the meeting, and it was intently the most monolithic life in a small residence in the hills. It was just high up enough to make him keep striving to conquer his fears of heights. That's nice. God, Other than that, his intense daily training regimen and an occasional visit from an old companion was more than enough to keep him optimistic and engaged. He knew by then Yana was not something to be won, but a contact for oneself to be renewed each day. Okay, how long have I been reading for? 15 minutes. I honestly don't care about this guy, so I'm not going to read for him at all.
Shit, probably come down tight.
Okay, cool. Time for the trumpets. Oh yeah, I'm not reading Bertrude anyway. This is pretty good, actually. I mean, not the. I mean, the dialogue is good. I'm talking about the theme. Damn. But this is just a different theme. Flagging hands. Where she would shield herself within the pit of metal. They even had fellow exiles of the withdrawn as they grew in nerve by the time she had left her. Sometime the pit of metal erupted into flame, so intense that the conflagration had seen all the way from Yeoman Valley. Arson was suspected, though the cause was never verified. Many of the Balcos in the region were forced to flee, attempts blowing from the north finally once the flame. When at last the ashes settled, the wounded had cooled, the site of the fire was destroyed beyond recognition. No traces of the woods could be found. Oh, did she kill herself? And for the content of the pit and myth of which will be included a point object throughout the remains of the years. All of it was gone as well. Back of the threats of the return of gas were thoroughly investigated and no credence was found to any of her claims. Damn, that sucks. I also really like his theme too. After the final liberation rite, Lendl refused to believe that the rites had truly ended. Oh, he's in denial. He would sit through the night after consecutive nights staring into the blackness of the skies, avoiding any kind of sign that he might gain another chance at his freedom. No such sign ever came. His fellow accusers started to express concern for him. Survival had become their top priority once liberty had slipped from their grasp. Orlando dismissed them as weak fools. He insisted rather forcefully than any eventing now. Stars would shine for him again. And God, this theme is so good, actually. I'm sorry, but damn, I actually made look into the OST for this. He was, of course, mistaken. Guess I was mistaken. The others of his triumph were left with little choice but to abandon him. After that, the exile known as London the Liar was never seen again. Oh God! Damn, that sucks. However, there was a chance there has been since sightings of a bedrag demon who wanders the downside and bears London's cruel penance, suggesting he yet lives. And it's like, okay, well they're both together, cool. So I don't have to read both. As the cycle of the rites drew to a close, it grew evident that a chance to feed them from the downside was forever slipped. Darba and almost old hearts had grass. Thus they had exiled the fate returned to Yeoman Valley where they struggled to get by as exiles of the downside tend to do. Sometimes after the rites had ended, the old hearts at last had the news that the Commonwealth had fallen. It was well after the fact, of course, but it brought old Darba great joy. Despite his forthright manner, he had no love for the nation that cast him down, along with his son. Darba had passed peacefully in his sleep before the next new moon. In his final days, he implored his son to undertake a pilgrimage to describe. Almo never shared his father's views described with respected Darba's wishes, and so after a period of mourning, Almo began the new journey. Not a day went by that Almo wholeheartedly did not think of his father, give thanks to him, and speak to him at morning and at night. God, that's sad. Would that the stars yet shone, for surely Darba would be there among them, smiling down at his son and watching him over as his kin. Damn.
More spectacular.
When Manly Tindersoft realized that the rites had ended and that he no longer could return to the Commonwealth through his ancient means, he was outraged. He cursed the scribes spewing forth such slew of blasphemy as the very uncoming of one of his high stats bearing. When at last he calmed himself, he focused on his energies on attempting to find another means of homecoming. He maintained regular contact with his wealthy family on the other side via messenger, and he used his vast resources to explore any other means of escape. He tried using an elaborate pulley system. He attempted to retrofit a flying black wagon with a superior propulsion. He tried an imp raft, a hot air balloon, even prayer. Nothing worked. There was only one way to escape Downshaw, and now it was gone. Tindersoft bankrupted his family in these vain attempts. At last, such as a shame that he retreated to the teeming woods of the Black Basin to Cinderoo. There he wallows complaining to his comrades of the chastity who still put up with him, either about his own misfortunes or at least the latest news about it from the other side. Damn. Lower exile Tamatha, Armathan, motivated by a single goal to return to combat and exact revenge on her ancient enemies. When she realized the rites had ended and that she would never see her mountain home again, she nonetheless remained determined to aid her people however possible. She had gathered certain information pertaining to the intentions of the Nightwings who had formed a pact to regroup from the other side after liberation. Other such reports exposed certain weaknesses in the Commonwealth armed defenses. It revealed to the high-ranking revenants the opportunity for a risky but potentially impactful strike. As Tamatha could not participate in the assault, she learned what happened after the outcome. On that night, described having women thus prevailed without even having to fight. Soon after the fall of the combat, Tamatha learned her blood sister Tamatha was an successful outcome. Tamatha was very skeptical of this, but similar reports kept mounting. She soon accepted the parental opinion, however, grudgingly. Once the messenger arrived bearing some sort of message from Tamatha, however, Tamatha tended the way. She would not give in to the impulse to forgive. Man, she's holding that grudge. Knowing the conflict on the other side had ended, Tamatha retreated to the crates of the Black Basin and grew even more distant. Those closest to her surmises that her inability to reconcile with her blood sister was that of heart. Man, I am really breaking down right now. She never once admitted. Man, I bet drawing. Oh god, it's super similar. I'm not gonna read this one because yeah. Took on many lovers in his time. Sometimes you saw one man. Long since past, he has always. Oh wow, that was short. Jesus. Dan. Pursuits. Alright, so we made a game out of it, cool. So, like, if the ending isn't them just getting together, then I don't know what's the point. After the cycle device ceased turning, the lone minstrel bade remaining neverings words are. I'm breaking down harder than I thought. Also, their pairing was half-read but brief. Well, I guess they won't get together. He remained there at with Celeste. Oh wait, never mind. Where the two of them would control the final outcome of the cycle. Neither Tarek nor Celeste were ever seen again. We all know that due to the song attributed to them, some claim these songs originated the taverns in the Syrian Union and merely were agreed with the way of folklore. However, the exiles liberated from the downside collaborated each of the other claims and have met this duo that presided over the liberation rites. Another folktale suggests that these minstrels were heralds of the scribes, having to fulfill their obligations to the part of the world we know and rejoin their patrons. One of the famous songs describes another simpler outcome, whether they two gave up on their duties on the rise in favor of a life that they could have shared together. I like that one, in my opinion. In any case, they were likely to remain the subject of such verses and such songs as they watched over the rites and ushered in our times. And all that's left is big oil that's After the swimming pool closed for what would be the last time, Olaf looked around in the flicker light of the night and the wings still burning Pyre. He then turned to the far off Sulium and looked up towards the black solid sky. He cursed the 8 scribes and then one after another. After that he strode forward towards the waters coursing to the summit Mount Olodiel, and without hesitating he cast himself down. Olaf's body was never recovered. The drop of Mount Olod is not a very survivable, though Olaf did survive it once. That time, however, he was filled with fury. Such was the betrayal of yet several when his following us claimed his rightful freedom. This time Olaf was filled with nothingness and chose to leave downside in the only way he so knew he could. The other 9 wings who were witness to this never forgot what they saw. Jeez. There is one more account which once mentioned. Night wings conducted the rites under the accounts to read a little known of him. However, some accounts of him beginning painting pictures. We all know the Commonwealth, birth, race, parentless, product of the foul work of the blood border. The journey of the downside left him close to death. It was then that the Nightwings found him. They brought him from the bunker. He showed them the path. He pressed onward with the others. He had made a vow to help his friends be free. Thus, he cycled the rites, commenced his final turn. When the final rites arrived, the reader's freedom was at stake. The freedom he indeed achieved ere the morning light. From that point on, accounts of him diverged. It is said the voice which troubled him he never heard again. Some say he helped form. Only he knows. Oh, so like, this is, hey man, what you think? That's what happened. Someday perhaps the reader's own star shall emerge. Then it shall face the dark of the night and all was brilliant glory until such time he ever after all was. Man, words are hard.
Their journey began on a barren waste where the reader arrived, afraid and alone. When he arrived, the book of rites awakened the night wings and ignited the flame. They follow the stars, bound together, strands in our brain till the end. We sing of the last of the night wings who, having broken the cycle, shall live on in song. Headwind prevailed and strode the path that his heart laid before him. He has found his way home. Captain Joe Dariel, mother to many a foundling, she has found her way home. Rookie Greentail has proved his worth and returned to his family by the grace of the scribes. They follow the stars, bound together, strands in a braid till the end. The moon-touched girl hears the scribes in the world all around her, they have guided her home.
Tis all the wise, ever faithful to the cause of the night wings. He remained to the end. Sir Gilman the Bold, duty bound to honor the night wings. He remains to the end.
Hermit the Thane, having pleased the scribe, seeking only forgiveness, she has found her way home. They follow the stars, bound together, strands in a braid till the end. Bound together, spirits tether, strands unbroken, strands unbroken. Alfred prevailed as the night wings guide, having led them to glory. He has found his way home.
The bog dweller Bertrude kept their foes at bay with her finest enchantments. She remained till the end.
The reader at last made the night wings whole and ascended to freedom. He has found his way home. They follow the stars, bound together, strands in a braid till the end. They follow the stars, bound together, strands in a braid till the end. Now at the end, as we bid farewell and return to the stars, we shall find our way home. We shall find our way home. We shall find our way
Alright. So yeah, this is the ending. As you can see, the burning library from the intro of the game. the loading screen, the start screen of the game has been repaired, and now are your books to read. And as you can see, Brandon Library from the intro. But yeah, that has been Pyre. That has been ending credits. I decided to stay quiet completely for the ending credits because why wouldn't I? I will make a review video for this game like later on. But other than that, yeah, this has been Pyre. This has been a playthrough, and I'm done. Good game. Like I said, I'll make a review for it later on in the week. Or whenever it comes out, it'll come out. But yeah, that's it. I'll be seeing you guys next time. Bye bye.